Once in power, the Nazi-controlled German government started with a boycott of Jewish businesses in April 1933, the first official act of state-sponsored anti-Semitism. Most Germans supported the boycott, and very few showed defiance. Universities were silent. The president of the Reich was silent, according to Rabbi Leo Baich, Berlin's most prominent liberal educator. And this was the day of the greatest cowardice. Without that cowardice, all that followed would not have happened. On April 7, 1933, the law for the restitution of the civil service was enacted, removing non-Aryans from government positions. Jews were barred from all positions within the German state, local, state, or federal. The law regarding admission to the bar, passed on the same day, began the process of removing Jews from professional positions. In late April, the law against the crowding of German schools expelled Jews from all teaching and college faculty positions, as well as restricting the number of Jews who could attend public schools and colleges. By September 1933, Jews were excluded from all cultural institutions, arts, theaters, and motion pictures. Germany forbade Jews to work as journalists in October 1933. In effect, Jews were now banned from all aspects of German public life and forbidden to hold positions in government, civil service, professions, press, and cultural artistic institutions to be replaced by Aryans. The 1933 laws abolished the civic equality granted by the German state in 1870 via emancipation of the Jews. Germany adopted the racial principle as law and segregated Jews as individuals and members of a community outside of German society. Now, as a point of law, Aryan Germans and non-Aryan Jews were not to mingle or work together in any way. Thousands of Jewish intellectuals, doctors, lawyers, chemists, historians, writers, and other professionals, and members of the arts, left Germany in 1933 and 1934. If they could find refuge and employment outside of Germany. Hjalmar Schacht, Minister of the Economy, urged caution from 1933 to 1935 on further boycotts because of what he felt as their disruption of the German economy. Schacht won a temporary reprieve from Hitler to restrain more radical measures aimed at Jews in the economy. However, anti-Jewish vilification in the press continued, as did attacks on individual Jews. German authorities allowed spontaneous attacks on Jewish-owned businesses and synagogues to continue, but refrained from new legislation at the national level, although local authorities competed in passing anti-Jewish measures. In 1935, a new wave of anti-Semitic action started. A series of laws passed in September 1935 further excluded and isolated Jews. On September 15, 1935, the German Reichstag approved the Law for Protection of German Blood that outlawed marriages between Aryans and Jews, and it outlawed sexual relations between Jews and Aryans. The law also forbade Jews from flying the German flag. On the same day, the Reich Citizenship Law passed that restricted citizenship to those of German blood. 2 months later, the Reichstag passed a second citizenship law that Jews could not vote or hold public office because Jews were no longer citizens. A Jew was defined as having 3 Jewish grandparents, and a partial Jew, or Mischling, was defined as having 2 Jewish grandparents. In 1938, a law on changing family names was approved that limited family names Jews could use, and as of January 1, 1939, required males to include Israel and women were required to include Sarah. The intent of the German state was to make Jews stateless and easy to identify should further action be required. The 1935 laws became known as the Nuremberg Laws that turned Jews into a pariah people subject to the whims of the German state.